Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm your host, Airsoft Al, and welcome to another Media Reviews. Today, because, of course, I'm not wearing the beret, and instead I'm wearing this hat, which has a particular branch in it, it's because, ladies and gentlemen, today we are taking a look at another one of Freedom's stories called Freedom Rising. No, this is not his attempt at what I'm doing with, of course, a soldier turned hero, where it is literally a soldier gets summoned as a hero in the Shield Hero universe. Still waiting for that, by the way, guys. No, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about, of course, this lovely little bit, this little gem of a story right here. It is, I fully read through it. It's not as long as some of his stories, but it's still as fun, and does have that nice little bit of element of just cornball fun. It does not have, of course, the Call of Duty technology, or from what I have seen, the Call of Duty Ghost Ghost Recon technology, or any of the other stuff. No, ladies and gentlemen, what this one is more or less what happens when the, well, actually, before I even get into it, just so you know, this isn't a crossover at all. This is wholly original, something he's made. And I'm not gonna lie, if given the time and for it to cook in the oven, this could actually turn to something really nice. But before I even get into it, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when a legionary force, or at least a primitive force, decides to attack a cruise ship outside of New York Harbor.
Excuse me, what?
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of course, a gate appearing in, say, one of the major metropolitan areas, like, say, California, New York, Chicago, well, St. Louis, or even Texas, or any of the other major metropolitan areas. No, it said this gate opens up at fucking sea, and these boats come out and attack a cruise liner with a off-duty Marine.
Seriously?
What?
I just heard you get hard.
The Marine immediately starts kicking ass, taking names, and, well, you know how the story goes, but you're probably wondering, how do they operate, and what branches are primarily operating in this new world? Well, it's primarily the Marines, ladies and gentlemen, which means the Devil Dogs get their time to shine. Of course, you absolutely crayon-eating sons of bitches. But I will say this, though, the story itself does actually work pretty well, and our main character is lovable. Everything about it is really good, and the main conflicts that are in this story is slavery, which I can tell you right now, we ain't gonna do, and there is a lovely little thing to that, which, believe me, you're gonna fucking love this. The international theater where China and North Korea is trying to gang up on us, but Russia's on our side.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Russia's on our side for once. I know, right? And then the whole conflict itself would just the relationships between us and the other world. This whole thing is just one big bundle of fun, and I want you guys to go read it yourself. But I am going to point out some cool key parts of it. One of them being the slavery aspect. When the slavery aspect was brought up to the U.S., Congress basically said not to do anything about it because it would crash their economy.
What? Are you out of your mind?
Bullshit! Bullshit!
I'm going to repeat myself. Congress did not want us to interfere in the slave trade.
Now you fucked up! 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 Now you have fucked up!
Well, the president immediately said, fuck you, and gave his own presidential order. And yes, the president can override Congress if he wants to. And since a military force is completely away from any sort of affection from Congress, this is what the general does. This is what the commanding officer of this force does. He held up two orders. One for Congress, the one order from Congress, and the one order from the president.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
He nailed it to the firing range and basically told them to pick up a weapon and shoot the one that they agree with. Well, considering that everyone and their mother hates slavery, and these are the Marines, and these Marines literally are a bunch of jarheads who literally kick in doors and get shit done, and they were there firsthand seeing the effects of slavery on these people. Yeah, no, not gonna happen. We're not gonna listen to Congress. So they immediately shoot up the order from Congress and pretend like it never came. And I'm not going to lie to you, I have actually talked about this scene with a few other service members, that way those of you who try to speak up and say, oh, that would never happen, I've spoken with a few service members. And many, from retired Army to actual Marines to active duty Marines to reservist, a lot of branches. And they themselves have said, yeah, no, we'd fucking ignore the congressional order and we listen to our president, our commander-in-chief, because at the end of the day, we take orders directly from him, not Congress. And we can decide whether or not we want to take orders from Congress or not. So it's like, hot damn, okay, let's fucking do this. And Congress immediately getting shit basically thrown at him because the president immediately addresses the nation of what's going on over there. And when he brings up slavery and the fact that Congress does not want to do a damn thing about it, there are protests. There are people telling him to resign. There are people supporting the president. This is literally one of the worst PR disasters that can ever happen to a senator, to a sitting senator in Congress, or any sort of congressman. Because if you were that son of a bitch who basically said, let's support slavery, no, you're immediately on everyone's shit list. You immediately have no support from your constituents. You are basically told to get the fuck out, because that's the only way you can ever continue, is just getting the hell out. That's it. Anyone who ever supported the pro-anti-slavery and pro-basically breaking up everything, they're gonna get the most support from the United States citizenry.
Just take all my money! Oh, not this soon! Not this soon! Ah!
And I cannot wait to see the news reports, actually, of Congress's reaction to it, because believe me, I really want to see if any of those people stepped the hell down and got out as soon as they could. But the other B-plot is, of course, China. China is trying to get the control of this portal, which is outside of New York Harbor, and never specified whether or not it's in international waters. But if I am to assume, I'm to assume personally that this is still in U.S. waters, which means that China steps foot in us, which, if you haven't watched the Templin Institute's video on why Modern Warfare 2 doesn't make sense, or really how Russia can invade the U.S., or really how anyone cannot invade the U.S. because of our massive and extensive coverage of the sea, especially our air coverage and radar coverage, go watch that, because yeah, China's not going to be able to do a damn thing to us in terms of actually having troops on U.S. soil. But the cool thing about it is that Russia is actually on our side. And for those of you who don't know, Russia and China have a frenemy relationship. They are both friends and enemies. The reason for this is because China actually attacked Russia back in the 60s, and still holds a lot of hostile feelings towards the Russians. Russians don't feel the same way about the Chinese either, considering that Russia, right now, is a pretty good bit anti-communist. And I'm saying this as someone who has talked with a few people from Russia. And they themselves have actually said that while, yes, they do have nostalgic feelings and memories about the Soviet Union, they don't want to have the Soviet Union back. Even Putin, Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, has actually stated that he himself does not support communism and does not want it back, even stating that to those who want communism back, they have no brain. Goddamn. Goddamn. But the story it really does get good, because there's a resistance, or at least a terrorist organization within this legionary empire who is trying to basically buy the U.S. Marines to work for them. Absolutely fucking hilarious, by the way. We're not mercenaries, we're fucking They're U.S. Marines, motherfucker. They are not mercenaries. And even go as far as to take hostages to force the U.S. to work for them. Or work under them, I should say. Yeah, no, we're just going to shoot you instead. And that they do. The hostage situation is actually handled pretty well, and they actually find some pretty cool stuff, like a Minecraft kid digging to find diamonds and instead finds something better than diamonds. Again, read the book, read this yourself, it's actually really fun. But it just gets a little better because if you remember back when I said that a character, and sex isn't a bad thing as long as it progresses the story or develops the characters. And the main character, who is a Marine, by the way, actually does get attached to this dragon lady, essentially, a dragon folk. And starts developing feelings for her. And she develops feelings for him. And one night, they just bump uglies. And she's pregnant.
Of course!
And the author doesn't do it lazily.
I have several questions.
I'm not joking on this when I say that I didn't roll my eyes at once. With the Enclave story, which had the unneeded sex scene, I was rolling my eyes at the fervid detail of it and how pornographic it was. With this one, it doesn't go into detail, it just lets you have your imagination of it, and basically gives you very little to work with in terms of what they're doing when they're bumping uglies. But the relationship is believable. This Marine saved her life, and she is basically is in love with her savior. And the feelings develop naturally. They go on a date, they have dinner, and it just blooms. That's it. There's even another one where another Marine is in love with a cat person, and they basically fall in love. Again, in a natural way. And I do like it. I do love it. It is a good story. And, again, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. It's actually good. It's done very well, and is developed very good. You did good, Freebrams. You did good. But then we get to the other plot line. The other plot line being the elves, which have a fervent hatred for humanity. However, they have to... The Queen, of course, realizes that we aren't that humanity, her humanity. We're the other humanity who's in the other gate, who's from across the world, and not her humanity. And instead, we're the good humanity, not the bad humanity.
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
The big thing about this is that the storylines themselves, and even the main and other plot lines to the story, is really good. We also have dwarves who want cannons, and they want to blow shit up. And we're like, you know what? We got some old 155s just sitting around in storage. You can have them. Hell, we'll teach you how to operate them too. So long as you do not use them on civilian targets and only on your enemies. Overall, this story is fun. It's good. It's great, and I love it. God help me, I love it. And that's it. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching on this little media review. I will try and get Freedom Rings as quickly as possible. It's just... The author... Again, if you haven't watched my Fight We Chose, or otherwise, the author who does Freedom Rings does like a fucking Bible length in terms of just over 30,000 words or less. But I'll try and front load it with as many of these as possible, as humanly possible. But either way, though, thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al, and if you want to check out Freedom Rising, down there, pinned comment, right down there for you guys to check out and read for yourself. And to the author, once again, you did good, and I'm happy you actually handled love in a very respectable way. And you did the Devil Dogs good, too. So, again, I have no issue with you. Anyway, though, ladies and gentlemen, next time we take a look at another requested review before Freedom Rings, and this one's by a guy named Smokey. And sad to say, he has a lot, he's got love. It's The Room.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
That's all I can say in terms of what is. It's... Till next time, ladies and gentlemen.